Mahua Moitra, the TMC MP, has appeared before the Ethics Committee. She wrote to Ethics Committee asking for deferment of the summons or notice that have been issued by the Ethics Committee, but Ethics Committee asked her to appear today, and she has promptly appeared before the Ethics Committee. Like you mentioned, Ethics Committee also wrote to both MHA along with MEA, along with Ministry of Information and Technology. From Information and Technology to NIC, National Informatics Center, they wanted to know whether Mahua Moitra's login credentials for the Lok Sabha website was shared with someone else. If so, from which location that particular login credentials were used and her portal, Lok Sabha portal, was accessed. Those were the details that the Ethics Committee sought from Ministry of Information and Technology. Along with that, they also wrote to Ministry of Home Affairs to see the travel details of that particular time period whenever the login credentials or her portal was used from outside India. So they wanted to coordinate, they wanted to see where was she? Was she in India or was she in abroad at that particular point of time? Those were the details that they sought from Ministry of Home Affairs and also from Ministry of External Affairs. They also wanted to see, because a statement or a kind of an affidavit that has been submitted by one of the person involved in this particular case is Hiranandani. His affidavit was notarized by an embassy official. So that was also confirmed by the MEA to the Ethics Committee. So these three were the details that were sought by Ethics Committee through all these three representatives of MEA, MHA, and also Ministry of Information Technology. Those details have already been submitted to the committee. So today the committee, based on those details, will be asking Mahua Moitra on the allegations that have been leveled by Jai Anand advocate through Nishikant Dubey, who's a Lok Sabha MP from BJP.
Arvind, there's someone who tracks Parliament proceedings very, very closely and the working of various committees. There's no such precedent as to let the person who is being, questioned by the committee to have the right to cross-question others. Because if you look at what Mahua Moitra has said, she's saying clearly that because it will be in the principles of natural justice, I wish to exercise my right to cross-question Shri Hiranandani.
Maria, in a Supreme Court judgment in Raja Rampal case, it has been very clearly settled that if at all the principle of natural justice are not followed, then courts can exercise judicial review in that particular matter. And that seems to be the legal ground that Mahua Moitra is also taking in this particular case, even though these proceedings are well within the rights of Parliament privileges, because Parliament is a separate organ, legislature being a separate organ. Courts usually do not enter the domain of Parliament proceedings. But in this particular case, in the Raja Rampal case, Supreme Court has already settled that if at all, even if there is a Parliament proceeding, if the principle of natural justice is not followed, then court can exercise judicial review, and that seems to be the ground that Mahua Moitra is also taking. So, in a way that she is actually setting the ground to challenge the decision of Ethics Committee, because the very ground that she would be, if at all if she is moving court, the very ground that she would be invoking is that the principle of natural justice was not followed as settled in the Raja Rampal case, and that seems to be the ground on which she has written this letter to Ethics Committee, saying that she should be allowed to cross-question the people who have filed the complaint and also the witness in this particular case, which is Hiranandani. And that's why she is saying that Hiranandani should also be called in person to the committee proceedings, and she should be allowed to question him along with the complainant in this case. So we have to see whether the Parliament Ethics Committee, which has its own rules, will accept the request of Mahua Moitra or not.